Oh, it's just Jord.
Hello gentlemen and welcome to another Little Nightmares video. Today isn't so much a theory video, more of an explanation video. As you may have heard by now, the title Embracer Group acquires Tarsier Studios, which was purchased for around 88 million SEK. In cash, which is around £7 million, and around 11 million in B shares. I know. I've been researching for this video and I'm still confused about B shares and conditional earnouts, etc. But the best way I can simplify what B share means is, in short, the difference between Class A shares and Class B shares is usually the number of voting rights assigned to the shareholder. Class A shares are common stocks, as are the vast majority of shares issued. When more than one class of stock is offered, companies traditionally designate them as a Class A and Class B. With that out of the way, and I'm still confused about it, who are even Embracer Group? Well, in short, Embracer Group was formerly known as THQ Nordic AB. One of the subsidiaries, THQ Nordic GmbH, shared the same name and trademark as the parent company, THQ Nordic AB. The subsidiary was originally the original operating company, but is currently one of several divisions. To avoid confusion and to clarify group structure, THQ Nordic AB became Embracer Group AB in September 2019. The THQ Nordic GmbH brand and company is still operating as the global video game publisher and developer. In short, Embracer are owned by THQ, which, if you were not aware, they're a large video game developer and publisher. Anyway, this is all above my pay grade, so with that being said, what does this really mean for Tarsier Studios, Little Nightmares, and Bandai Namco? Well, I'll explain each of these individually, so let's begin. What does this mean for Tarsier Studios? This is a great move for Tarsier, as it now grants them the ability to do their own projects as a studio, and explore more creative ways to play games and even grow their team even more. In a sense, this opportunity gives them a chance as a studio to spread their wings, as before they didn't have the funds or a large enough team to do so. Now, an interesting point to make would be, well, Jord, what about the deal with Bandai Namco and the partnership with Tarsier? And I'd have to reply with good observation. But remember, Little Nightmares came out on the 28th of April 2017. Now, over the years, Little Nightmares has sold and kept the company afloat, or at least keeping the lights on over there. Before this, when they showed off the trailer for Hunger, they had funding from outside sources, as part of the Creative Europe, if you will. If you didn't know what Creative Europe is, it's the European Union's program to support the cultural, creative and audiovisual sectors. I believe this funding is what kept them around developing Hunger, which then results to Little Nightmares that we see today. So it's safe to assume that that funding is not around anymore. Mind you, I'm just a YouTuber, what do I know? Well, that leaves us with Bandai Namco's partnership. Well, this is very interesting. So to put it in short, it seems that Tarsier signed over the IP for Little Nightmares as part of their deal, which means now Bandai own Little Nightmares. But this must have been a last resort move for Tarsier, in my opinion, as Little Nightmares and the story and everything included with it is such a gem, and it must grant them some more money to keep going. Not to mention, we don't know the share from sales. If my knowledge of game publishers is anything to go by, and go by a default, the percentage would be around 30% to 70%. Now that's 30% to developers and 70% to the publishers. Mind you, that number is in the range of indie developers. As Tarsier is a little bit bigger than an indie developer back then, they might have had more of a wiggle room in demand. Aside from that, Tarsier also struck a deal and now made the game The Stretchers for the Switch, which I don't know a lot about. In short, we will see Tarsier grow into becoming a AAA studio and carry on releasing more amazing games. With that being said, I do hope we see more of Dr. Ingen. Now, with Tarsier out the way, what does this mean for Bandai Namco? With Bandai Namco, nothing really changes, as we know that Bandai Namco now owns the IP for Little Nightmares, which basically means they do own it. Everything to do with it, including the comics, the show, any future games, DLCs. Like we have seen in the past, for instance, Very Little Nightmares, it was the first time that any other studio has taken the role of producing the game outside of Tarsier's vision. In short, nothing really changes for Bandai Namco, apart from wishing Tarsier Studios well on their way. And they do have the ability to go out their way and hire other studios to make games like Very Little Nightmares. So with that being said, who knows, we might see more of Little Nightmares from Bandai if they hire another studio to make the game, but Tarsier just will not be involved. But is this the end for Little Nightmares? Well, I'd really hate to make a prediction on this type of question, but it has to be said that in a sense, it could well be. Now, it's been said that Bandai Namco and Tarsier Studios still have an agreement to continue finishing Little Nightmares 2, but what we don't know is for how long. You could assume that once the game is released, that Tarsier would be done with the project, and that's the end of their involvement, which would result in no DLCs and no more content from them. So in a way, yes, it is the end of Tarsier Studios' vision of Little Nightmares. See what I did there? I pulled a sneaky on you. While that is sad to think that Tarsier will never be working on Little Nightmares again, this could be a way for Bandai Namco to make the future of Little Nightmares much more. As we've seen from Very Little Nightmares, they are not scared to make more Little Nightmares content with other studios involved. So hope is not lost in that regards, and in fact, Bandai Namco's involvement may be the best thing for the future of Little Nightmares. Unless they bring a Little Nightmares Battle Royale, then we'd have some issues. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you have any questions, please ask in the comments below or on Discord, as I know this is a bit of a tricky topic, and I'm sure I've missed many points and key things. But remember, if you like this video, drop a like, and if you like this type of content, make sure to hit subscribe and ding that bell, or whatever they all say. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world, I wish you a brilliant morning, day, or night, and I'll see you all in the next Theory video. Bye!